I tried to go vegan, but I just couldn't hack it. Love tattoos, but I can't afford them. And I text girls out of boredom. I like Xbox 360, and I wear vests that just don't fit me. Sometimes I cry myself to sleep. I'm a teen boy privilege, and the Instagram gets perfect coverage, and both my parents are still together, and I live with them for forever. My snap score is in the millions, and my dad is probably a Disney villain, and I love SoundCloud rappers, and my education's going down the crapper. I like Ugg boots, Starbucks lattes, me and my friends go to Pilates. I talk through every movie, and baby pics really move me. I like Courtney, Kim and Chloe. I feel like they really know me. Most nights I cry myself to sleep. I'm a teen girl privilege, and my Instagram gets perfect coverage, and both my parents are still together, and I live with them for forever. My snap score is in the millions, and my dad is probably a Disney villain, and I love SoundCloud rappers, and my education's going down the crapper. Now I watch Chase, and I always vote. I get really sick on the North Pole, and usually I groan when I bend down. I've got 3 kids and a cat that hates me. I browse the internet oh so safely, and sometimes I cry myself to sleep. Now I'm middle-aged and middle-aged problems, and my kids don't answer when I call them, and I watch the morning news, and my dog kids get hella views. I've got cataract surgery in the morning, and my hemorrhoids flare without warning, and I've got special glasses for reading, and I have to watch what I'm eating. I'm vulnerable, emotionally unstable. I go out every weekend if I'm able, and most nights I cry myself to sleep. I've got acne and hella feelings. I've got a boyfriend, but I'm not allowed to see him, and most nights I cry myself to sleep. I cry myself to sleep.
Welcome to the 2021 Shetland Saltire Awards. Thank you to Ria Icebister for that excellent musical performance. We will be hearing more from her later. Tonight we are proud to be here with you virtually for a celebration of Shetland's dedicated volunteers. First, we will hear from Lynn Tulloch.
Hi everybody, my name is Lynn Tulloch, and I'm the Executive Officer of Voluntary Action Shetland, and I would like to warmly welcome you all to the 9th Shetland Saltire Awards Ceremony. The Saltire Awards is the Scottish Government's way of celebrating and rewarding the achievements of young volunteers throughout Scotland. And this year, due to the COVID-19 restrictions, we're very much celebrating in a virtual capacity. Here at Voluntary Action Shetland, our volunteering team deliver the Saltire Awards scheme throughout Shetland. And we're very proud of all the young people's achievements this year, and we can't wait to show you all the great volunteering Shetland young folks have been doing throughout this very challenging year. Enjoy the film.
The work the volunteers do benefits our local community enormously. Young people received Saltire Awards this year for volunteering with 24 different groups and organisations. The Shetland Amateur Competitive Swimming is one organisation that benefits greatly from their volunteers. Aisha Huda is here to tell us more.
We're a competitive swimming club for children aged from about 4 years up, and we've been on the go for I think over 20 years, and we have like 2 parts to it. We've got the Learn to Swim part, which is for the younger ones, and they only come and swim on a Saturday. And then we've got our competitive swimmers who train throughout the week and sometimes on a Sunday as well. We have a lot of swimmers that go away to local competitions, district competitions, and then national competitions as well. Some of them are doing nearly 14 or 16 hours of training a week, so it's a big commitment. And I think that's why the volunteering is such a great thing as well, because they're already so committed to their own training schedule, but they still come and they want to give something back to the club. This kind of idea of this sort of like circle of volunteering, that, you know, kids come in when they're small, and as they're learning to swim, there are young volunteers in the water with them, and those young volunteers give them the confidence, just make it a bit more fun. You know, you've got all these sort of high fives when they manage to do something well, and it's just really cute, and you can see it really boosts the water confidence for the little ones. Up until they're 16, a lot of what they're doing is sort of learning, you know, on the job. And then when they get to 16, we actually get them trained so that they have a teaching qualification and they have the theory behind the teaching as well. And then they put that theory into practice every Saturday, because they'll come along and, like Ellen today, they're actually taking classes themselves, and then they're using the tank helpers, and the youth coaches are working together to kind of deliver that learn to swim experience for the younger swimmers. Working as a volunteer and working as like a volunteer coach, what happens is that you have this kind of bonding together as a team, because they're sharing knowledge, they're turning up not only for themselves, but they're turning up to help the other younger swimmers. And we try and put like 2 of the youth coaches together for each lesson. So they're really working quite closely together to look at what's happening in the pool, to deal with any issues, to kind of pick up on technique, that kind of stuff. So it's a really, really positive thing. And what we found is some of the young people who were really shy, you know, who would never want to talk to other people, through the process of becoming a coach, working with younger people, their self-confidence has really, really sort of flourished, to the point at which you've got some people who are now off training to be teachers, because they've loved working with the youngsters so much. Oh, we were closed during COVID for so long, and it was really hard when it first closed, because we didn't know how long we were going to be out the pool. You know, we went from seeing people 6 or 7 days a week to not seeing anybody at all. So it was this really big gap. And we all know that sport is really good for our mental health as well as our physical health. And so it was a real worry about, you know, not being here, what was going to happen to the swimmers over time. And so what happened was some of our older swimmers, the youth coaches, what they did was they worked with our head coach Peter, and they put together a kind of like a fitness plan. And what we were doing was we were having like daily fitness training sessions. So it was kind of like Joe Wicks doing the Zoom training. And so everybody got half an hour of training with exercises which were specifically designed for the swimmers to do over the lockdown period. I think when you're volunteering, you're not really thinking about what you're gaining. You're doing it because it's fun, because there's a great atmosphere in the club. People like being here, they like being with their pals, they like working in a team. And you don't think about all these skills that you're developing along the way. What the Saltire Awards do is that they provide a kind of point of reflection. When they apply to the Saltire Awards, they get asked to think about, well, what have you done and what did you get out of it and how many hours have you put into it? And that's when you suddenly think, oh my goodness, I've spent, you know, for some of the little ones, maybe I've spent 10 hours or 25 hours or 50 hours. But some of our youth coaches who've, you know, been coaching from 16 to 18, 19, some of them have put in 400, 500 hours of time. And then it's like, wow, that's why it's such a brilliant thing. And for us as a club, it's really great that there's something national that recognises the young people and what they're doing. And I suppose the thing is that everybody in the club is a volunteer. So the coaches, even the adults, all the coaches are volunteers. There's nobody that's paid to do anything. So the whole ethos of the club is about volunteering.
Starting the ball rolling tonight, we hear from Stuart Robertson, who achieved his 10-hour Saltire Award this year by volunteering with Bray Junior High School as a mentor in violence prevention.
I completed 1.5 days training to become an MVP mentor. I was part of a team and we spoke to juniors. My favourite was about sending safe messages. I worked with an S4 class and I helped with 4 classes. My main job was to work the computer. I decided to volunteer because I like to help other people. When I volunteer, I feel proud of myself. I think the youngest pupils listen to us older pupils and it's good that they listen. Volunteering makes me feel great and proud. I had fun with the other pupils. I'm very happy to receive a Saltire Award. This will help my future.
Cause you only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love when you let it go. Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only hit the road when you're missing home. Only know you love when you let it go. And you let it go. Staring at the bottom of your glass, hoping one day you'll make a dream last. Dreams come slow and they go so fast. You see it when you close your eyes. Baby, one day you'll understand why everything you touch surely dies. Cause you only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love when you let it go. Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only hit the road when you're missing home. Only know you love when you let it go. Staring at the ceiling in the dark, same old empty feeling in your heart. Love comes slow and it goes so fast. You see it when you fall asleep. It's never to touch and it's never to keep. Cause you love it too much and you dive too deep. Cause you only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love when you let it go. Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only hit the road when you're missing home. Only know you love when you let it go. And you let it go. And you let it go. And you let it go. Cause you only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go. Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only hate the road when you're missing home. love when you let it go. Let it go.
Well done, everyone, and thank you to Judah McCormack for that lovely performance. As we move on to the next category of achievers, we hear about the great work Amber Thompson has done to achieve her 50 and 100 hour Saltire Award, volunteering with Alice Theatre Project.
So Alice Theatre Project is a group of kids aged from primary 1 to S1, and we do lots of theatre activities, and we normally, without COVID, do a performance at the end of the year where we showcase everything that we've learnt that year.
And we basically just learn drama, and you do lots of games, and usually at summer then we sometimes do a play, but sometimes because of COVID then we can't do it.
So my involvement with the group is I'm a class volunteer, so I help with everything that goes on in class, with all the activities we do. I sometimes work in groups with the kids, and I do fun activities with them, and sometimes I supervise groups as well and help them if they're struggling to think of ideas.
And whenever we're in a group, then Amber helps us make ideas, and she always makes them just come to life so that people will be able to know what it is right away.
With COVID, we sadly had to leave the Sandveen Neighbourhood Centre and we had to do classes on Zoom, but we managed to make some great ideas, and everyone definitely had fun while we were on Zoom with all the games that we played, and we learnt a lot, especially from doing a different type of drama.
And while we were on Zoom, then a lot of the games were quite hard to do, but it was always okay in the end because we did fun games that we could still do in regular classes, but we could still do them on Zoom and it would still be fun.
The volunteering has been important for me because it's given me a great shot to see how drama works for kids, and Stephanie is just amazing at what she does, and I'm really happy that I've been able to be a part of that. And I've really enjoyed working with Isabel here and all of the kids, and I've just learnt a lot, and it's been really great since that's the only theatre I've really had that I've been able to do recently, so it's been a really great experience.
I like Amber when she volunteers because it's not like she tells us what to do, but she helps us with what we have to do. So she doesn't force us to learn something right away. She splits it into pieces so that we can learn it easily.
I think it's good that I get this award for my volunteering because it means that when I'm older and I'm looking for jobs, it's a great thing that I can put on my CV, and I do want to go into drama or something to do with the performing arts when I'm older, so I definitely think it's really going to help me in the future.
Her costume was a colour of like a frog, and I said that frog was an amphibian, and Amber didn't know that. So I thought that if Amber didn't know what an amphibian is, then she might not know that she's an amphibian. So then I wrote this song about Amber the amphibian. Amber the amphibian went to go and shop. People kept on saying, Amber, you're an amphibian. Amber didn't know why. Amber didn't know why. Amber didn't know why until Isabel told her. Amber the amphibian, Amber the amphibian, Amber the amphibian, Amber the amphibian.
Joining Amber in gaining the Approach Award, we have more dedicated volunteers. Let's all give them a big congratulations for their hard work. Well done to you all. Moving on to the Ascent Achievers, we spoke with Ellie Ratter, who has achieved her 500-hour Saltire Award. She volunteered with Shetland Rape Crisis, Bray Youth Centre, Bray High School Nursery and Shetland Recreational Trust in Bray.
In the September 2019 I started volunteering here at the Bray Youth Centre as the treasurer. of the youth centre. And to begin with, I was a bit nervous about taking on that role, but it has really helped me build my confidence in things like spreadsheets and bank and accounting. And I feel like I've made a bit of a difference within the community, which is really good. But I've also been volunteering since last year for B, which is a young activist group for Shetland rape crisis. And through that, I've helped to organise a walk at the Clickham for the 16 days against gender-based violence. And I've also spoken at the Scottish Rural Parliament on International Women's Day about dress codes and how women and young girls are viewed. I decided to start volunteering because I was very interested in getting more involved in my community, but also I wanted to build my confidence a bit more because I felt I wasn't very good at speaking in interviews, but since I've done quite a few of them through B, then I feel more confident just speaking about things. It's really helped me develop probably my organisation skills because there was a lot to organise with that walk, but also the youth centre, there's a lot to keep organised with all the files because they need to be checked every year. So I need to make sure that everything corresponds with each bank statement. So that's really helped me. And also I've had a better sense of money and how to budget for the youth centre and new grants and projects we've gotten and sending the forms away. Things didn't really change with B because I started that during COVID, but with the treasurer's role we used to meet up in a group and discuss the youth centre, but we also had a few events like Wool Week and things actually inside the centre, and that was great for bringing money into the youth centre and getting the community involved. But since we haven't had any of that, we've had a few like online Zoom meetings, AGMs, things like that to try and get people interested, but I feel like there's a bit less interest at the moment just because people can't come themselves and use the centre. They don't feel as involved in it in the community. I would tell someone else to volunteer because I think it's really helped my confidence, and I think if you're looking to try something new, meet new friends, or just to help build your confidence and speak in front of people, I would really recommend it. It also lets you see what you like doing. For example, when I was working in the youth centre, that really showed me that I loved working with young children, and so that decided that I wanted to become a youth worker. So it just really gives you opportunity to try things without actually having to properly commit yourself. So you might just do say like 10 hours somewhere and just to see if you like it. It's really good to get in Saltire Awards. It's just a bit of an extra incentive to that volunteering for young people. Because I started out my volunteering, I didn't actually know about Saltire until I was told through the school, and then I was like, oh, that would look great on my CV. So in the beginning, I actually just started volunteering for my local youth club, and I really enjoyed that. And that volunteering actually helped me to get a job as a youth worker here in this youth club. So, and I've also started that was when I was at school. And I've just started working through, I got my 200 a couple of years ago, and this year now I'm achieving my 500 hours, and it just feels like so amazing to have that written down and on my CV just to show how much commitment I've put into this over the last few years. But also I think the most thing I get out of volunteering is just that feeling of helping someone and being more part of the community. It's really good.
This year, 128 young people were awarded a total of 147 Saltire certificates, making up 2,910 hours of volunteering. Every single hour counts and makes a difference, so let's put our hands together or click those reaction buttons for those Ascent Award achievers for completing 50, 100, 200 and 500 hours.
Alabama,
Well done, everyone, and thank you, Ria, for another beautiful performance. The Saltire Awards has been here celebrating the work of volunteers for many years. Wayne Leask reflected with us on how his volunteering has led him into his career.
I was sitting on a rock outside Flint, sitting there with my best pal and my sister saw one of the workers that just came out of the SYS. So she ran over and said hi, so we followed with her. The worker said, we're just starting up a brand new peer education project and this is our first meeting. Do you guys want to come in and get a free tin of iron brew and packet of polos? And that was me, I was hooked. And then from there it was just going every week to do the induction training, which is basically personal development stuff. Looking at how to create a workshop and then taking on training like drugs training, sexual health training, stuff like that. And then we made a peer education workshop from that. Carried on doing that for about a year, and then about 2012-ish I got the opportunity to work for 4 hours a week, taking kind of a lead with the meetings, the volunteer meetings, and then just slowly worked my way up through Open. I never once in my life thought I would want to volunteer ever. The only thing that kept me going was interest in the subject, so learning about drugs and sexual health, and being able to do it in a fun, kind of relaxed, interactive way was just something that kind of caught me. That's the way I've always learned, and it's the way that I never got taught at schools. Coming out the other side of it, I think that there's so many interchangeable skills and qualities that you learn from volunteering. Even if you just go along to a volunteering thing for 1 hour a week or a month, and you do that for a year or however long you're interested in whatever you're doing, that shows dedication in whatever you're doing, which is passable onto a job. You can get increases in confidence to actual like physical skills. So for example, my volunteering, I've learned so many different harm reduction techniques to try and make sure everyone around me is kind of safe when they're doing, I don't know, whatever they're doing, either in a party scene or whatever. So now I am working full-time for the project, doing different things from supporting volunteers to deliver the workshops that we originally created. So we also deliver a peer mentoring project. So I train up and support the volunteers to match with a young person to try and provide them with any kind of support and guidance to put themselves on a better pathway. I think that I would probably still be chefing if I didn't start my volunteering. It was through starting my volunteer with Open that I found my passion, my desire to work with young people, because I found that simply by working with some young people who might be in a period of time in their life where they're thinking, okay, well, things aren't going too well with me, if I'm just one possible shining light in that dark space that they're in, then I've made some kind of a difference to their lives. Well, I think that the Saltire Awards are a fantastic recognition for the amount of hours that the volunteers do. Especially in Shetland, when we do our awards ceremony, then everyone in the community that is volunteering that's getting an award all comes together and they can show just how widespread it is and how much it helps so many different people. I think it gave me the confidence to know that I was actually achieving something in a time that was just kind of mundane. Like I was in the middle of learning to be a chef, so I was doing my SVQ2 in doing my volunteering as well as achieving that, as well as working another part-time job. Then it was, really stabilising. And I haven't done anywhere near, I think I did the 200 hours, I got the 200 hour award and the Summit Award, but there's these phenomenal people like the two volunteers I was with that have both achieved their 500 hours and are continuing to do more hours, which is just mind-blowing to me. All their hard work that they've gone into it, and they've done it selflessly, it's inspiring to me.
Now we have made it. We have climbed up the mountain and we are at the summit. These individuals were nominated for an outstanding contribution to volunteering. We spoke with the Chillax group to hear how they achieved it.
We're the Chillax Youth Mental Health Project, and we meet here in the Scalway Youth and Community Centre every Thursday, and we develop our workshop that we're presenting around schools in Shetland.
We started because we all got together and we wanted to do something revolving mental health and specifically young people's mental health, because whenever people come into the school and tell us talk to us about mental health, it's always adults presenting it to us, and we thought it would come across better as teenagers to teenagers, and they might feel more comfortable and take more information in about the subject.
Chillax workshop is a workshop that we usually present in schools and other places where they're old enough to understand what we're talking about. Because not many kids know how they feel when they're, know that they might be struggling with a mental illness when they're young, and a lot of the time they're just told, oh, it's hormones, when most of the time it's not. So it's good to get into high schools. So when we do that, it feels really good. Well, when we're in schools, we bring in these cards. We bring in our PowerPoint, but that's on a USB drive. We bring that in, and we bring a sensory box, a cam box that we call it. And we show them the PowerPoint, and we walk them through, well, not walk them, but talk them through it, and we interact with them, and we have breaks where we just talk with them about the project. And then we do some activities that we have, and we also make these breathing sticks with them, which is always fun. And then they rummage around the cam box. And we did this before COVID, that they rummaged around it, and it was really good because they were laughing about it, and they got a lot of good ideas from it too. Then we give them an evaluation sheet, and they fill it out and tell us how it went. And we haven't gotten a bad one so far.
Since we had a meeting with professionals, and they gave us a lot of ideas, because before that meeting we thought that was the project done, but then we wanted to move on to phase 2, and one of the ways was doing workshops through COVID. So we decided that we were going to put together a video of our introduction and us just saying who we are and what the workshop was about. So then if we had other people presenting the workshop that wasn't us, they could play that at the start and see that how it all kind of came together and what they're going to be getting into before they do the workshop.
We've gained confidence from going around to schools and presenting the workshop to all the different people. And as we go on, then you can see that we get more confident and we find it easier to do. We've also learned coping strategies to deal with ourselves when we're struggling. Some leadership from it, and learned to work together and stuff in teams. Is that all?
I learned how to figure out what I was feeling from the Who Am I cards. Yeah. And it was easier to figure out what you were feeling in the moment.
Yeah, because sometimes they're all quite similar, but you can tell with our activity what the difference is between them all, anxiety and depression and self-confidence and stuff.
And stress.
It feels like a big achievement that someone's actually recognised what we're doing and saying that we're what we've done is worthy enough to have a Summit Award.
Yeah, we never thought it would get this big and
Yeah.
Definitely not this big.
No, it's so many awards we're nominated for, we didn't even think.
We didn't think we'd qualify for them at all.
No, because there's always such cool people. Are we part of that cool people group now?
Yeah, when the first time we went to UNSA, it was how it started. We went up to a trip to start developing the workshop and doing lots of activities around mental health, and I would have never thought that we would have been doing stuff like this now.
Mm-hmm. With hoodies.
Yeah, really.
We're come on,
relax.
Let's say a big congratulations to these amazing volunteers getting their Summit Award. The final award we are celebrating tonight is the Challenge Award. To receive this, a volunteer must take part in a one-off team challenge. Tonight we are proud to be giving out 152 of these awards this year. Remember to click those react buttons to show your appreciation. A big congratulations to everyone who has volunteered in 2021 and has achieved an award. We will now hear from convener of the Shetland Islands Council, Malcolm Bell.
Well, what a celebration of volunteering we've seen here today, and I just want to say thank you to everyone who's been involved in making this celebration a reality. Shetland has always punched above its weight when it comes to volunteering. The Scottish Household Survey consistently shows that more people in Shetland per head of population volunteer than anywhere else. So thank you for that. And during this past really difficult COVID year, volunteers in Shetland have really stepped up to the plate and helped the community cope in a way we thought might never be possible. So thank you for that as well. I'd like to say thank you too to volunteers and supervisors for making the nominations and going through all the paperwork that's necessary in making these nominations, because without that, this award ceremony would not be possible. But most of all, I want to say congratulations to all the award winners and everybody who's volunteered in Shetland this year. Your efforts are greatly appreciated. So on behalf of the whole community, thank you very much, and let's look forward to another year next year. Thank you.
Brother, do you believe in an afterlife? Our souls will both collide in some great Elysium, way up in the sky. Free from our shackles, our chains, our mouths are brave. We'll open all the gates and walk careless straight into the light. I've never felt so enlightened. Every page I turn, I come to find myself feeling more alone, posing questions to a silent universe. My very thoughts are cursed, but they just seem to multiply forever in my mind. Brother, don't grow up. Brother, please never grow up. Hold on against the night. Guard your hope with your life, for the darkness, she will come. Oh, when you will have nowhere left to run. Oh, but your eyes wider than mine, they'll never see. Let's hope that age doesn't erase all that we've seen. Don't let bitterness become you. All your hopes are within you. So hold on against the night. Guard your hope with your light.
Thank you, Malcolm, for your kind and encouraging words. Tonight may not have been the usual celebration, but we are so glad you could join us for this awards ceremony so that we could all reflect on the hard work and importance of our young volunteers. Whether you are already volunteering or just thinking about it, the Saltire Awards are for you. Thank you so much for watching.